Good morning. Good morning. Come on in, grab your coffee, and join me in the conversation. Hi, this is Dr. Mary Segars, and today is the last Wednesday of 2021. We only have 2 more days before this year is completely over. So let's say goodbye to 2021 and welcome and hello to 2022. As you're grabbing your coffee, let me just And again, I'd like to welcome you to this last podcast of 2021. And you're probably thinking, what happened in 2021, right? It came in, and now we're saying goodbye. Just like the first Wednesday of 2021 in December, I encourage my audience to join me in reflecting these last 12 months of this year. Identify some lessons learned. I'm sure we learned some lessons, so we don't have to repeat those same things in 2022. And of course, there's always some aha moments, sudden surprise, or whatever it is. And those aha moments will help us to be better and wiser in 2022. As I reflect on this year, the last 52 weeks of this year, I pondered and I listened to some of my past podcasts of 2021. And the first week in 2021, my discussion was be focused in 2021. And I used the illustration of horses in a parade and how I noticed that they had blinders on their eyes. If the horses didn't have blinders on, the horses could be spooked by all the crowd cheering at the parade, and even the loud noise from the parade participants could have distracted the horses. But because the blinders were on the horses' eyes, they stayed on course in the parade. And I use that analogy that humans, you and I, if we're going to accomplish our goals in 2021, we have to be laser focused, like having blinders on. That would include perhaps saying no to others so you can get to your yes. That could be that you have to distance yourself from friends because you're focused on your goals you want to accomplish, whatever it was. I listened to another episode that I had in 2021, and I discussed that I never make up New Year's resolutions, and I haven't done that for many, many years. But my friends suggested, Mary, why don't you just have a word for 2021 that you can resonate with? And the word that I used for 2021 was execution. Wow, where there's some execution done in 2021. Let me just share with you some of the things that happened. I taught 2 master classes entitled Write Your Story. And out of the attendees, I know that 2 of those attendees are writing their story. And so I realized that execution not only impact my life, but it impact the people's life that I associated with. So they're having like a domino effect. They were able to do execution in their lives as well. And that's a good thing. I conducted several successful webinars with my business partner, and those attendees they were taught about leadership, personal growth, and personal development. Phenomenal webinars. Some more will be coming in 2022 as well. So stay tuned for that as well. Another execution that I was so proud of is that I did 3 successful #1 best anthologies. My first anthology was my first baby, was called Finish Strong. And the tagline says, it doesn't matter how you start. What matters is that you finish strong. And there were 11 ordinary women who decided, I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to tell my story so that I can change others and impact other lives. Those women did a phenomenal job. I go back and reread those stories, and it's just a phenomenal saying that you can have execution in your life. But I didn't stop there. I went to the second anthology, And this is called Destined to Win. Despite struggles and disappointment, that happens in life, right? I am still destined to win. And 17 phenomenal women said, yes, I am a winner. Despite what happened in my past, despite what's happening to me now, I am destined to win, and I'm gonna finish that finish line, and I'm gonna be a winner. And so those women really shared and opened up, shared that you could hear their emotions, you can hear their convictions, you can hear their heartbeat, and it was so compelling that that book went number one. And so that's a phenomenal thing. And then the third one, it will be released in February of 2022. It's called Unlock Your Hidden Treasure. It's time to shine. If you've been following me on any of the social media, I've been highlighting about it's time to shine. You know, with the 2 years of being in the pandemic, being locked down, we've kind of been reserved and not able to do what we need to do. But it's time to release those gifts that's on the inside of you. You know, the Bible tells us to stir up the gift that's on the inside of you. And so you have gifts and talents and things that only you can do. And it's time to let the world know if I can shine, it's okay for you to shine as well. So stay tuned for that. They'll be coming out in February. There's 10 amazing authors who's going to be able to tell their story and speak their truth about how it's time to shine. They're unlocking that hidden treasure. Also, for execution in 2021, I spoke at several virtual platforms with speeches. I know one I really very proud of is the World Leader Forum. And then, of course, I had a lot of the local, for Maffey, local platforms as well. I enjoy sharing my thoughts and inspiring people and letting people know that you can have a great life despite what's happening in the world. Your life can be what you decided to be, right? Another execution in my life, I just want to share with you. My company, Segars Consulting Group, had a sold out event by having a community outreach. Let's go to the movies. And we pick King Richard as the movie. I encourage you to go see that movie. If you want to be uplifted and see how goals can be not only planned, but it can be implemented. And you have a plan and you work your plan, it's a phenomenal uplifting how parents have instilled something in their children so that they can be who they were meant to be. So go check that movie out. But I was so proud that my company invited the community and we had a sold out event, popcorn and soda. It was awesome, totally awesome. You know, I had some reading books that I wanted to read in 2021. We had plenty of time to read, right? And three books that was on my reading list that I encourage you to make sure you read something, feed your mind, feed your spirit. Of course, the Bible is my number one book, but I included in that list Crazy Faith by Pastor Michael Todd. I tell you, my faith is growing more and more. Every time I read it, I also have it on audio book, and I'm reading it along with the audio book, and I'm highlighting the book. I'm putting notations in the book. And so it's a book that changed my life. So, you know, get a book that you want to learn more, grow about, invest in yourself by reading a book. Another one of the books that I read in 2021 was one of my leadership mentor, John Maxwell. I read the book 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. That book really spurred me to have self-awareness and just knowing that, you know, you look at yourself and know who you are. And so I enjoyed that book immensely. And the third book that I read this year, my own book, Power Talk Begins with Power Thoughts. I reread it again. I got some more nuggets out of it. I will be developing a workbook for that book. So look out for that in 2022. I've coached so many of my clients and to see them where they are now to where they're going. And it just does my heart good to see that all things are possible, you know. And let me just take a moment to say, in 2022, you may have goals, you may have aspirations, but guess what? You may not, you may need help. You may need to invest in yourself to hire a professional coach, or perhaps you want to seek out a mentor, whatever it takes to get you to accomplish your goals. Because sometimes we can't do it all by ourselves, you know. Be wise enough to know that you need help and ask for help, okay? Also, too, just on a small note, but it's large to me because in 2021, one of the execution was that I mailed out over 100 plus Christmas cards that I personally wrote out to my family, friends, and clients. My team. So, well, Dr. Mary, I can send that out for you. I said, no, no, I want to personally write out and personally send a note to each of my family, friends, and clients. So that was another execution that I did. And then lastly, I've added video to my podcast. When I initially started Wisdom Wednesday with podcasts with Dr. Mary Segars, just on the audio and all the different platforms, on Audible. However, I ventured out in just October this year to go with the video as well. I had many guests on there. I did some things that was different. I invited some of my guests to come on to share their wisdom with you and their expertise. For example, I had the real estate panel. I had all the real estate professionals to give the 411 about the current real estate market. And then in October, I recognized some of the breast cancer survivors to honor breast cancer awareness month. I had authors on to share their story and to speak their truth. I had a Dr. Rose, on to talk about how to be grateful for the smallest thing to the most elaborate things, right? And for this month of December, I invited several guests to come on to talk about getting ready for 2022. In a couple of days, it'll be a new year. I had a phenomenal financial coach who gave us strategies about how to make sure we manage our money, how to save, how to budget. And then the following week, I had a phenomenal health and wellness coach saying, move our bodies. Be sure to drink plenty of water. Make sure that you rest the body and to keep your body moving. And then just last week, I had an awesome pastor who shared with us about how important it is to be connected and to stay close to God in 2022 and beyond. We need Him every day of our lives. So don't occasionally invite God into your life on a Sunday, but we need Him each and every day. And so, make sure you get connected and rooted and grounded in the Word so that you can have a successful 2022. So what a year we had here. 52 weeks of Wisdom Wednesday. And I want to personally thank each of my podcast audience for joining in and listening in on the conversations. I appreciate that so much. You could be doing anything else, but you said, I'm going to listen to Wisdom Wednesday podcast. And I'm honored to have you to peep in and tune in to the conversations. And I hope you got some wisdom nuggets out of each of those sessions that you're listening to. And also, Anchor informed me that my podcast has gone global. I'm in other countries, and I'm just so honored that people are listening in, and I'm grateful to all of my listeners. And can I just suggest that you even subscribe to my podcast so you know about it every week, every Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. I may come a little earlier sometimes depending on what's going on that Wednesday, but typically it's 10 o'clock a.m. Grab your coffee and join in and tune in to the conversations. I promise you will be blessed and you will receive some type of wisdom nuggets for everyday living. So, in closing, for this last Wednesday of 2021, I want to wish every person out there in the podcast audience land, in Facebook audience, a very heartfelt, happy, and blessed new year. I've been saying this all along that 2022 will be epic if you only believe. And it starts with your mindset. Sure, the pandemic's going to be with us. Sure, we're going to continue to have the COVID-19, but that doesn't stop you and I from doing what we need to do in life to make an impact, to make a change. And the change starts with us. I know in January I'll be starting a series about getting to know yourself better. We're going to look at that person in the mirror and what are your triggers? Do you set boundaries for people in your life? Do you enjoy your own company? Do you have a good relationship with yourself? And so we can learn how to love ourselves, appreciate ourselves. Then we can be able to love others truly. And so 2022 is going to be what you make it, what you decide to make it to be. So I look forward to you with some exciting conversations next year, some very inspirational guests. So until then, I want you to be safe, be resolved, and more importantly, be yourself. Until next year, God bless you. Bye for now. This is Dr. Mary signing off. Happy and a blessed new year. See you next year. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in 2022. And before I go, I don't have a word for 2022, but I have more of a theme for 2022. You probably guessed it. It's time to shine. Be blessed. Bye for now.